We continue our series looking at the good, the bad, and the ugly for each team across Major League Baseball. Today, the team we're discussing, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Let's get into it. What's going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast. And as I said in the open, we're looking at the good, the bad, and the ugly for the Pittsburgh Pirates. So we begin with the good. And there's very little question when you look at the Pittsburgh Pirates, the one thing that is going extremely well for them is Oneil Cruz. This is a dynamic player, a 6'7" shortstop capable of having all 5 tools. This is going to be a player that you build your franchise around if you are the Pittsburgh Pirates. Even though it's been a very short amount of time, we have already seen the exploits of Oneil Cruz and what he is capable of doing. Hitting the ball extremely hard, throwing the ball extremely well at the shortstop position. So there's going to be a lot of speculation as to what the Pirates' future is going to be, but there's very little question that Oneil Cruz is the cornerstone of this franchise. As we look at the bad for the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Pirates have one of the most young, dynamic third basemen in Ke'Bryan Hayes. And while this is a young, rising, up-and-coming superstar in the game of Major League Baseball, injuries have continued to be a hindrance to this player. Whether or not this is going to be something that he has to deal with for all of his career is something we'll have to wait and see. Something similar was said about Manny Machado when he first came up, dealing with some different injuries. But Manny was able to change that course, the narrative of that injury-prone tale, and get himself to being one of the most consistent everyday players at the position of third base. Ke'Bryan Hayes could easily follow that metric and find himself following in the footsteps of Manny Machado as a once injury-prone player who is now a consistent everyday name penciled in the lineup each and every night for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I think that for Ke'Bryan and the Pittsburgh Pirates, they need to maybe change up his regimen a little bit, which can allow him to be on the field each and every single day. Now, as we look at the ugly for this franchise, there's very little question. They are going through a rebuild, and likely a long rebuild. And I only say long in terms of the front office and the ownership's way of doing business. I think that when you look at the actual pieces on this Pittsburgh Pirate roster, there's a lot to like. Oneil Cruz, Ke'Bryan Hayes when healthy, Brian Roberts. There's going to be an opportunity for the Pittsburgh Pirates to surprise some people on a nightly basis. I also believe that if the front office is allowed to go out and spend a little bit of money, doesn't have to be a payroll up in the stratospheres like the Yankees, Dodgers, Red Sox, like those clubs, but with a little bit more leeway in the budget, I think that the Pirates could absolutely jump back into a contention spot for at least a third wildcard spot now that we have a bigger postseason schedule. I think that for Pittsburgh, there's going to be a lot to like in the future, but the question is going to remain how long until that future becomes the present. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings on this down in the comment section below. What are your feelings on the good, the bad, and the ugly for the Pittsburgh Pirates? Let me know down in the comments or find me over on Twitter at JLaracuente19 to keep the conversation rolling. As always, keep it locked into the entire JLMG family with We Sibs, the Granny Geek Show, and of course here on the Baseball Banter Broadcast by hitting that red subscribe button on all 3 channels. For sticking around to this point, head over to baseballbanterbroadcast.com. Use the promo code PIRATES to save 5% off your order. Keep it locked in all season long as we continue to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly for each team across Major League Baseball, as well as the latest news, notes, and my personal thoughts, theories, and opinions on the game of Major League Baseball. Peace.